driving around the entire map, but this time with the SH282. And will we make it? I don't know. I can't tell how much water I've got in the boiler right now, so this thing could explode at any moment. And, oh god, we're going way too fast. Brakes, brakes. Now, I've got a feeling that turntable is not lined up, so I'm going to have to stop. Yep, that's not lined up. Quick, let's put the brakes on because we don't want to tempt fate here. We want to, brakes. Oh no. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is Derail Valley Simulator once again, but today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm taking a break from career mode. You'll know that I've been doing a lot of episodes lately in career mode of this game. Sneaky card up above there to the playlist which has all my career mode episodes, and I thought I'd do something a little bit different this time. This is just sandbox mode once again. And yeah, it is, well, it is just past 10 AM in the game right now. And you can see here that I have this lovely SH282 steam locomotive in front of us here. And this is the venerable, old faithful steam engine that has been in this game for pretty much since its inception, more or less. And yes, I don't quite have this locomotive available to drive in career mode just yet, but this is sandbox mode. So I thought today I'd do something a bit different and drive this train around the entire map in Derail Valley. Now this is not the first time I've done one of these videos. Card up above if you wanna, or if you haven't already checked out the time when I did this with my S060 steam shunter. But anyway, I'm just counting out these carriages, and there's 9 of these guys behind us today, and each of them is 33 tons. So we've effectively got around 300 ton behind us today, which sounds like it might be quite a bit, but for this steam engine that we've got up ahead, that steam engine's rated for around 1,000 ton, more or less, depending on conditions. So it should be a fairly, well, I won't say easy run, but moderately comfortable run, I think, to go around the map with this amount of load. I've just taken the last handbrake off there, so the carriage's brakes are released. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and just jump in. We are basically here at Goods Factory and Town, okay? So we'll get the map all set up in just a moment inside, and I'll give you all a bit of a rundown as to how we're going to do this and which way I'm going to go. Just got to get into the old steam engine first. That's always the first hurdle, isn't it? Okay, so let's put the map down. Let's put it in the sun if we can. There we go. Right, so let's do a little bit of an overview. So we are here at Goods Factory in Town, GF. And what I'm planning to do here is basically head west all the way over and around. Yeah, I guess that's a quick and dirty way of explaining it. But yes, we'll be heading up in this way to Food Factory first. And might spend the night there, might not. Then continue across the top of the map over to Iron Ore Mine West. Pass through Machine Factory and Town. And then after that, obviously continue further south to City Southwest, and then Sawmill, and then make our way across the bottom of the map, just like this, all the way through these little curvy sections, I guess, over to Harbour and Town. So from there, we'll be continuing up and over Goods Factory in Town, I'm thinking, because there's an overpass there. So we'll be flying over the bridge where we currently are, do a little loop-de-loop, come back around, pass by Oil Well North, across the straight here, and finish in the center of the map, I'm thinking this time, at the steel mill. So yes, this locomotive has a tender, so it's got quite a bit more range than the steam shunter. So I'm yet to work out exactly where I'm going to fill up coal and water, but you can see there we have a massive pile of coal. And if we go ahead and check our water levels as well, I haven't moved this locomotive yet, haven't even fired it up, so you can see we've got a full load of water as well. But just the fact that we've got this separate tender on this locomotive, instead of just having a tank engine that we did last time where the coal and the water is just held on the locomotive itself. Yeah, I think we're going to do a lot better with this tender this time around. And yeah, we do have probably around double the load, if not just over double the load that we did last time, because the carriages last time was like 130 ton, I think it was, 132 ton from memory. This time it's around 297, but the advantage here is obviously we do have a lot more coal and water that we'll be carrying with us. So yes, we'll see how we go for coal and water, and yeah, Probably have to refuel at, I'm thinking, Iron Ore Mine West, and then potentially City Southwest, or Iron Ore Mine West and then Harbour Town. And then that should be enough for us, I think, with this steam engine, because like I said, this steam engine has a lot more range to it. So as I'm just blabbering on here, I am firing up the steam locomotive, as you can see here. Just looking at the lubricator, we can see that that is full of oil as well. Just go ahead and turn on the lubricator. It's nice and early here in the morning still, kinda. Can still see those sun rays just coming through. It's very beautiful. Get the air pump going, and then come across here on the top of the boiler. We do have the generator. This will be handy for our headlights and other electrical systems. Unfortunately, this locomotive, having trouble getting in again. Ooh, hang on, run out of fire already. That was close. Yeah, during the startup phase, this thing does eat a lot of coal. And the other thing is, and I haven't mentioned this yet, is I am using the expert shovel this time around. And I didn't use that in the last video where we drove the S060 around the entire map. I thought this time we'd use the expert shovel and try and get a bit more control over the fire and also over the coal usage, hopefully. Now the thing with this locomotive is that the firebox is absolutely massive, as you saw there, so it's different than the steam shunter. But we will have that more control, I guess. We'll have that additional control over just how much fire and coal we want in the firebox at any one time. And that's a nice little thumbnail, maybe, perhaps. We'll see. Okay, so we've got the fire going now. At least I've got the dampers fully closed because I don't want to build a roaring fire right now. As I did say, we do have, well, we've got the end of train light there as well. Maybe we'll use that later on, actually, when it gets a bit dark, if I remember. There's a few little bits and pieces here in sandbox mode. We've got the boombox as well, which I won't be using, but this little end of train monitor is quite handy because you can actually basically just light it up with the lighter and make sure that it's fully, the valve is fully open first by just rolling the mouse wheel, and then we can light it up like any other kind of lantern. Right, okay, it's coming up to, that looks like midday now, so I think it's time that we actually got going because the day is going to get away from us otherwise. We cannot continue straight ahead, that's a dead end. We need to back this train up and get it out of this station. So we'll go reverse on the reverser. Open the cylinder drains there. Signal our intent. And the fires. I'm not putting enough coal in here. And that's the problem with this expert shovel, is that it gives you very small doses of coal each time. So you do have to keep track. And like I said, this locomotive is massive, so it does eat a lot of coal. Especially if you got your damper open. But we don't have the damper fully open right now, so I'm just building a low fire. I don't want to go too nuts with the fire, because there's no real need. If we had 1,000 tons behind us, then I'd be cranking up the fire. But there's no real need. When you've got a light train, I guess you could call it, only 300 ton behind you, you really don't need to build up a huge fire. So, right, this is the brakes. For those of you who are not initiated with the air brake, the red needle there just shows the amount of braking applied. So if we apply the brakes, the red needle goes up to 1 bar, then to 2 bar. So the brakes are getting stronger and stronger. 3 bar, 3.5 bar is maximum braking. And if you, as you release the brakes, you'll see the red needle is dropping, so the brakes are coming off. Now you can hold the handle in the running position, and that will hold the brakes at a certain strength. So that's being held at 2 bar, just releasing a bit more. Well, I'm just going to release it all out. So you've got good control there over the brakes, and we will be obviously braking quite a bit as we go along the journey around the map. There's going to be a lot of downhill sections, and the train can run away from us if we're not careful. So for this episode, or for this video, I'd recommend that you get settled in, folks, because this is going to be an adventure and a half. So get the snacks, get the beverages of choice, and let's get this show on the road. So we're just slowly reversing out here. The first few chuffs, you want to make sure that the cylinder drains are open, because you can cause some real damage if you don't leave these drains open for a few chuffs of the pistons. and then you can close them up like I just did after that. And that damage is modeled in the game as well, along with all sorts of other damage. Anyway, right, let's get our, one thing I do miss that the shunter, the steam shunter has, is a cab light in this thing. There's no cab light, so it can get rather dark. So I'm going to need to put the lantern, get the lantern going soon, I think, once the day gets on a bit. I'm just going to open these windows up a bit. I'm hoping the weather gods are going to be kind to us on this run around the map. It is going to take us probably 2 to 3 in-game days as well. So we will probably be spending a few overnights at some of these stations. So yeah, we'll see how we go with that. Now, the boiler pressure, we're at about 9, just over 9 bar at the moment. Max is around 13 to 14. You want to keep it between the 9 to 12 range, I guess, for usable power. You don't want it to be down here at around 3 or 6. That is not enough power from the boiler. So between 9 and 12 is a good range. Anything above around 12 to 13, the safety valves start to pop off as well, and that gets very annoying. And that's kind of frowned upon to have the safety valves go off whilst you're waiting at a platform and things like that. So we'll just continue reversing out here. And yeah, that's the track. No, not that one. There's another little section of track right out there that we need to be going up or out. And there's DE6, which I don't yet have a license for in career mode. And there's a little DE2 shunter right beside that. Oh, I've had some fun with that little shunter. In career mode, you'll know if you've seen those videos. So yes, the DE6, that is the, well, even this SH282 I don't have the license for in career mode just yet, so I will keep going with those career mode episodes over time, but just thought I'd do something a little bit different this time around. Let's just keep this fire going a little bit here. Like I said, I'm not trying to build up a huge fire, but we don't want it to die out either. Right, okay, so we'll keep reversing here. The set of points is coming up. We'll flip those over and then continue forward. Okay, so we just need to go forward, up in that direction, over to the right-hand side there. And that's going to be our way out of this yard. What I might do as well is just back into the set of platforms they've got over there as well. So our train is basically ready to go here. I've got the bell ringing there because we've stopped here on a level crossing. Right, so now we can continue forward. That's helps to have the reverser set properly. Open the drains once again. I just had the tender handbrake set. Okay, so we're going to go off to the right hand side here, and that'll be our way out of this place. But like I said just now, I will back into the platforms as well, just to simulate a bit of a passenger pickup. And I will try and do this as well for the future stops. I'll try and find the platforms, if there are any, at some of the other depots, and just make sure I stop there. It's mostly going to be the townships that will have the platforms. The industrial stops probably won't have them. So, yeah. If it gets a little bit too annoying, I'll probably skip stopping at the platforms, but I'll try and do it as much as I can, seeing as these are passenger wagons that we have behind us. Right, so we'll keep going forward here for a bit, and then we'll need to go through another set of points. I'll set them up once we pass over them, and then I'll back into the platforms as well. So there's the platforms right there. We're just going forward, and there's a set of points coming up in just a moment. Not those ones there. Those ones are set correctly. There's, yep, that one that we just ran through right now. You would have heard that, maybe. We'll probably have to go forward towards the tunnel that's ahead of us, because we've got quite a few carriages behind us actually, and I'm thinking maybe those are the sets of points anyway I'm staring at there in the distance that we'll need to flip over. So we've got to wait for the last carriage to go over those first before we can flip them. Once we've got to wait for the last carriage to pass them. So I'll check in with you in just a moment, I think, because yeah, there's 9 carriages to go. Okay, so our last carriage has passed over the points, and I'm just going to use the radio to make the change there. Very good, that's set. Instead of having to run all the way over there. The comms radio is very handy in Derail Valley for that reason. In case you're not aware, a lot of you will be aware of the comms radio, those of you who do watch and play Derail Valley Simulator. Comms radio has been around for a little while, and I think there is a difficulty setting that disables it, if I'm not mistaken. But I've always found it to be quite handy because, especially when you're running at speed, the last thing you want to do is stop the entire train just to change your points over manually. So this gives you a little bit of switch automation, or remoteness, I guess, remote activation capabilities. Okay, so I'm just feeding the fire a little bit more there and just going to back in, and we're going to go straight back and over to the platforms. And then once we've done that, we'll just hang around for a minute and then we'll leave here, I think, because it's well and truly in the afternoon now. So yeah, we don't want to spend too much time here at Goods Factory. This is still the starting station. We've got the entire map to go still. Okay, let's just back into the platforms here and apply the brake shortly. Okay, so the majority of the train there is at the platform, so all aboard everybody. We're going to be leaving very soon. This is the beginning of the journey around the map. Yep, okay, so it is just after 12 actually, so just into the afternoon now. I'm not going to waste too much time here. We'll just have a quick look at these platforms anyway. It does look like we've stopped the train with... Oh, I probably stopped a little bit short actually. No, that's fine. I think we've stopped with just the last carriage, just towards the end of the platform there. And you can see the station clock. Actually, that is 2 o'clock. I was wrong there. It's not just after 12. Well, just depends what just after 12 means for you, I guess. But yes, 2 p.m. So let's go, let's go. Cannot afford to waste any time here. At this rate, I may well be spending the night at Food Factory in town. But we'll see how we go with time once we get to Food Factory. That's our first stop, so... Whistle, drains open, brakes off, reverser forward. Okay, brakes off now. And here we go. Let's feed this fire because we do have some inclines coming up. Not immediately. We've actually got some downhills ahead of us. But then soon we'll have some inclines coming up. So we've got to make sure we've got a healthy enough fire. Let's back off the reverser here. Switch into high gear as it were. So here we are, just leaving Goods Factory. We'll be coming down westerly direction. Take a right at those points, then take a left. Come across the incline section and then turn left and over to Food Factory. So that's where we'll probably be spending the night. Maybe, maybe not. May just continue on from Food Factory towards Iron Ore Mine West tonight, maybe, in the game. It is going to be getting dark by then, I think, so weather's looking good, smoke's looking grey, which is what we want. It means it's a nice healthy combustion. Water level's looking fantastic. Have to watch the water level on this journey because don't want to run out of water. If you run out of water, you will blow the entire engine sky high, and that is modeled in the game as well. So there's also that. Okay, just shift towards mid gear here. Save a bit of steam and picking up the speed. We're going down a hill, so we don't need much power. I've just backed off the throttle a little bit there. It's just a nice, easy run out of Goods Factory. Ooh. And because obviously we're going down the hill, our water levels shifted to the front of the boiler, and that gives us a bit of an incorrect reading there, lower than it really is, but I still get a little bit antsy when I see the water level drop so low. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water anyway. Train's still there. We're letting gravity do the majority of the work right now. I'm just going to put a little bit of braking on actually because I don't want the train to go too fast. And the majority of the carriages are now on the downgrade as well, so gravity is really going to be pushing us even harder. Boiler pressure is very healthy. Water level's looking good, so I'm going to turn off the water injection. Okay, so we'll have a junction coming up soon. Got to make sure that we do bear off to the right hand side. Otherwise, we'll be going left and then to the steel mill, which is our last stop, and we'll be cutting short our journey by several hours. That's not what we want to do today. We want to drive around the map. We don't want to drive from here to the center of the map. That would make for a very short video, though. Okay, so, yep. The points are not set correctly. Oh no! Go to the other side. Go to the other side. There we go. That's better. Right. Okay, we're just braking the train. Let's get off the brake now. Don't need the brakes anymore. Nice and easy through these points. Over to the right we go. As we start heading north on the map. Well, I believe it's north anyway. Our carriages are going through that set of points nicely. So we're heading north now as the map sits. There's a bit of an incline here, incline section. So I've got to make sure that we have enough throttle coming on soon. We do have to go off to the left-hand side, however, and those points are set to the right. So let's just change that. You can see that comms radio coming in very handy once again. Okay, so we set the points over to the left. Got to keep an eye on those points because they do kind of sneak up on you sometimes, especially around the curves and especially in low light conditions. You don't want to head off in the wrong direction because especially if you're going up a hill, it can be quite an issue to stop the train and then reverse and then try and get back up the hill from a standstill. So always better to make sure you've set your route correctly whilst you're still underway, and that's where that comms radio comes in handy. Right, we've got heaps of water. I think, yeah, we're coming up to the section here coming to the section now where we'll be going up a hill. It's currently level, but there's some inclines coming up, so doing about 40, that's fine, well within the limits here. So as we come around, there are going to be some inclines here, so we just need to be careful. And then we'll be turning left again at another set of points. And then we'll be heading west to Food Factory. So we should be at Food Factory before too long now. And the day will be getting on a little bit. Yep, here we go. So here's the indicator there. You can see the blue and the yellow. It's A+. I think that's a 1.4. So yep, the train's going to start going up an incline now. So let's get the power ready. Gently, gently. Open the drains here. Don't really need to because the train has been underway, but sometimes I like to do it after a period of not having the throttle open for a while. Just inch forward on the reverser here just to give us a bit more torque. Okay, because we're going up the hill, all the water's come back towards us, so that's why the water gauge is artificially inflated there. And showing us a full water indication when it's not actually full. Okay, so coming around a little bit of a right-hander as well. I don't want to go too fast, even though we're going up a hill. Yeah, okay, I can hear the train is slowing down quite a lot as well as soon as I get off the power. So we are definitely on the hill, because the train normally doesn't slow down this fast. Yep, I can see the bridge ahead of us. That is more or less the bridge we need to be on, if I'm not mistaken. Yes it is. Yes, there it is there. There's that bridge on the map. Yep, we are struggling up the hill a little bit here, but that's fine. Just add a little bit more reverser and more throttle. We've got heaps of boiler pressure, so the locomotive shouldn't have any issues. We're definitely not going to stall or anything like that. And so far the weather is absolutely beautiful in the game, so no problems with wheel slip or anything like that. We've got nice dry rails, so hopefully the weather keeps up in the game, because once it starts raining and you start to get wet rails, then that's where the fun begins as well, once you start trying to go up a hill. Okay, so coming up to 4 PM. So the day is getting on now. We did start the run at 10. So, in the game. I think we should be at we should be at Food Factory in town, our first stop, by around 6 o'clock, I believe, in the game. 6 PM. And then at that point, I'll have to decide whether I'm going to spend the night or not. Or just continue in the darkness. So here we are. We do have a set of a junction coming up to the left. We've got to make sure that we are going, and then we'll be at Food Factory. So there's a junction just around that corner, I believe, just around that curve up ahead. Water level is doing absolutely fine. I must say, this is a treat to drive this locomotive after driving the steam shunter for so long and dealing with its crazy consumption, where it just seems to eat the water and the coal. And because yeah, it doesn't have its own tender, it just runs out of resources and has quite a limited range as a result. Hardly a cloud in the sky here. I think we should be coming up upon those points shortly. There they are. And of course they are set incorrectly, so let's get the comms radio out. Flip them over to the left hand side. Very good. So now we should be going off to the left now. Just keep the speed under control, don't want to go too fast. Right, so we just passed through those points and we are heading west once again. And here comes a, that looks like a downhill. Yep, okay. So, yeah, we should be at Food Factory in town very shortly now. Just get off the power here, because we don't need any power right now. You can hear the train's rhythm is increasing. So we're actually just going to get onto the brake a bit. Let's give it about 2 bar. Actually, 2 bar is probably too much. It's too much braking. Let's take off the brake. 1 bar probably would have been nice. Just a nice amount of pressure. Ooh, I think we need water. I'm a little bit worried now. Oh no. We don't want to run out of water. We really don't want to run out of water here. Unfortunately, sometimes this water gauge is quite difficult to read. As you can see there. I don't really know whether it's full or empty. Sometimes the color scheme just doesn't... Ah, there we go. Yep, okay, so that... Oh, wow. Alright. Lucky I did pick up on that just now, because if we let the water get too low, we could uncover the firebox crown sheet, and then we could have an explosion. So we don't want that. Don't want that. We're trying to go around the map, not blow up and not go around the map. Let's make sure that we got enough water here. Sometimes it just gets really difficult to read. I tell you, there it is. Yep. Alright. Oh, look at that. It's kind of all over the place with the differences in elevation and attitude as the train tilts up and down as it goes up the hill and down the hill. And the water's just skirting the bottom again. So I'm just going to keep pumping some water here, folks. We've got heaps of water in the tender. There's no point having it back there and then running into problems out front here. Okay, I can see Food Factory already. So first stop coming up soon. Oh wow, look at that. Now that we're on the level, we get the true indication. Whoops, and the brakes are on. Still. Let's get the power going, because otherwise we will ground to a halt. Brakes off. That's okay. 30k an hour limit. We're doing about 20, so Just keeping the train under control here. Hope you're all enjoying this so far. It's there's quite a bit to do, as you can see. I'm basically doing the job of two people in a realistic sense because, yeah, in the real world you'd have the fireman and you'd have your engineer. And one would drive, one would shovel coal and take care of the water, but obviously in this game, the game makes you do everything. So everything's looking fine and dandy so far as we near the first stop of our journey. Actually, how many stops do we have? We've got Food Factory, that's 1. Iron Ore Mine West, that's 2. Machine Factory, 3. City Southwest, so 4. Sawmill, 5. Harbour and Town, 6. Okay, Steel Mill, 7. So 7 stops. And we are reaching the first stop of those 7 right now. Just get ready on just a little bit worried about this water level, just a little bit. Just going to trickle some water through, but yes, I'm just getting ready on the comms radio because I want to make sure we go off to the left here. I do want to make sure we stop at the platforms here. I think that switch needs to be set to the left. There we go, because we don't want to go into the wagon yard there. We want to go off to the left where those platforms are in the distance. Not sure if you saw that. Brakes off, otherwise we'll stop. Whistle! Just to let everyone know that we are here. And if there's anyone planning on leaving Food Factory, this will be their chance to do it, because this is the only passenger service of the evening, and there won't be another one for a long time. Okay. Can you tell that I really want them to implement passenger operations in Derail Valley? I keep doing videos like this, don't I? Anyway, here we are at Food Factory. We've come from Goods Factory and we've made our way, we've snaked our way up to the top of the map. We will be continuing west over to Iron Ore Mine West soon. Whether that's today or this afternoon in the game or tomorrow in the game, not too sure yet. Just get the old bell going. Whoops, we pumped too much water in. I forgot that I was trickling that water through still. Whoops. Let's just manage our speed here. Okay, enough of the bell already. I think that's enough bellage. I think I can hear a little bit of moisture in the cylinders there. Let's just get onto the brakes anyway. Let's just call a halt to the proceedings for the moment. Right, so okay, so that looks like it is 5:30, isn't it? Yeah, 5:30. I sometimes have trouble reading that pocket watch. The hands are very similar, but yeah, anyway. Similar in size, I mean, so it's hard to see the small hand. Yep, so it's almost 6 PM. How about that? I was pretty much almost right when I said we'd be there by 6, and here we are. Our train is just too long. I think I've added too many carriages, but I just wanted to put a little bit of load behind this locomotive today so that it wasn't too much of a milk run. So here we are at Food Factory. The day is coming to an end. This is the end of day 1 right here. So it's, yeah, I'm just wondering whether I should actually spend the night or whether I should just continue on. If I continue on, we'll be driving through the darkness a little bit, and we don't have a cab light, so I'm thinking maybe call it quits. Fire's going out. Okay, is that a sign to just call it quits as well for now? Decision paralysis. You know what? I think there's still enough light. Yeah, we do have to continue on across the top of the map here in the westerly direction still. So yeah, Iron Ore Mine West is our next stop there. There is a coal service there and water service, and I might actually take advantage of that, even though I don't think we've made much of a dent in our water levels. Let's just have a quick look actually while we're here. And yeah, okay, it's dropped a little bit there, you can see. They've really improved the water level indication in the last update for this game. So, very glad for that. I've got a whole pile of coal still, so definitely don't need to worry about that. Okay, you know what? I think I'm just going to continue on, folks. I'm not going to mess around and spend the night. I think it's time to go. So, yeah, there's still a little bit of light hanging around. It is almost 6 p.m. But let's get these passengers where they need to be going, shall we? And let's get on out of here. Now, one thing to note as well is there is going to be a... okay, boiler pressure's a little bit low there, but not too bad. But yes, one thing to note is that there are some hills coming out of Food Factory. Just through this tunnel here, up ahead of us. I did get caught in the last video with this steam shunter there. Yeah, right here is a really nasty incline, basically. So we need to make sure that we've got enough momentum and boiler pressure, and we've built up enough of a fire to get us up that hill. So let's open the damper up there, because I am just a little bit mindful here that without enough steam pressure we won't be able to make it. So let's save the steam pressure a little bit for the moment. We are still going through a set of points here, so I don't want to go too fast. But yes, on the other side of this tunnel there, I don't know if you can see, but if you look carefully at those rails, there's a bit of a kink as it kinks upwards, and it's pretty aggressive there. It's plus 2.1 as that sign just said, plus 2.1% incline. So I'm going to put the power on full right now as our locomotive just juts. There we go. It's just climbed. It's just gone up. And the rest of the train is now going up more so as each carriage goes. Yep, you can definitely hear that. This is even with full throttle applied. The train is really slowing down. Yep, okay. See how if I didn't have enough power applied, would really be in the sticks right now, would be slowing right down. And it's a good thing I opened that damper because, yeah, we need that boiler pressure. Alright, let's get this, as the train just struggles up the hill, let's get this lantern going because we don't have a cap light, unfortunately. That's one thing I do miss about the S060. Just put that there. We need to be able to see our water level and things like that in the darkness because, yeah, the light is starting to die a little bit here. The sun is beginning to set. Okay, looks like we're picking up a bit of speed here. The incline is more or less over. There's Food Factory. See you later, Food Factory. As we roll on to stop number 2, which will be Iron Ore Mine West. Just make sure we've got enough fire going still. Got heaps of water in there. Make sure the water injector's off. Actually, we can probably drop the damper down because that boiler pressure is just going to keep climbing otherwise. I'm fairly confident that we are over the incline there. So it should be smoother sailing now as the sun rays just disappears. As the sun starts to disappear over those mountains in front of us. Still some bits of light left. So yeah, we'll be heading across here. It's mostly level ground, I think, in this section of the map. And then over to Iron Ore Mine West, where we will have a chance to refill coal and water. Machine Factory as well. Now, one thing I did have a thought just now, I could have just gone down this way. We could actually go left, but then I'll be missing out on Machine Factory. And I do want to top up the coal and water at either Iron Ore Mine West or Machine Factory. And going down that little bypass track there, we'd miss that opportunity. So I will continue across the top of the map there, I think. Look at those rays of light. That's beautiful, isn't it? As we begin to say goodbye to this day. The end of day one almost in the game. Yep, so we're heading towards Iron Ore Mine West here, where I think I will just probably spend the night there, and in the morning in the game, refill coal and water. For the moment, we'll keep on chuffing in the westerly direction here, across to Iron Ore Mine West, and I'll check in with you shortly. Boiler pressure is looking healthy enough. Let's just raise the damper a little bit more, because we are on the power, actually. Right, yes, I'll check in with you as we get closer to Iron Ore Mine West. Okay, we're snaking our way ever further to the west, across the map, as we get closer to Iron Ore Mine West. We should be there shortly. We've said goodbye to the hills, and mostly, yeah, it's going to be, well, we've said goodbye to the uphill sections of the map. Just managing water and boiler pressure right now. Burning a little bit dirty, but that's fine. I'm a little bit mindful here. I think this might be the last tunnel, and then basically it's going to throw us into the Iron Ore Mine West area station. So just trying to keep the speed in check. Water levels are fine. Yeah, actually we are a little bit further away still. We are, yeah, almost there. Won't be too long now. The sun has well and truly gone down. I'm just going to drop the dampers right down here because we don't need much fire right now, and I don't want to waste any coal and water for that matter. We've just got a few of these tunnels. Got an aqueduct in front of us here. Yeah, we can hear the buzzards or whatever those insects are. It generally signals the coming of the night time. Train's still there. It'll be cool if we could control the lighting in these passenger carriages, but unfortunately not. They are just dormant carriages for the moment in the game. Okay, 60k an hour and dropping. So it looks like we've got, yeah, water's fine. Looks like we have a few tighter curves coming up. Actually, that might be it there, over to the left-hand side. We'll just make sure we keep the speed in check. We're doing just under 40. Yeah, and that's a 40 speed limit there, so that's fine. Right on the limit almost. Not touching the power, making sure that the throttle's completely closed here. So we've got a good amount of momentum. Add a little bit of power here actually. Keep this fire going. Okay, probably a bad idea. Oh, there's a 50 zone we just passed. That's fine. Let's get the power back on. Let's go. Let's pick up the speed a bit. It's really speeding up fast. I think we are going down the slight downhill here. So I'm just going to keep it rolling, just going to keep coasting here, folks. We've got, looks like another tunnel coming up soon. Okay, and that looks like a 50 zone still. That's fine. Last bits of sunlight just reflecting off the windows back there of the passenger carriages. Got the headlights going here. really have to make sure. Okay, that's a 40, but also that green arrow means it's increasing after that, so I won't touch the brakes. We'll just keep it going, keep it coasting. That fire's just burning away very idly right now. Managing the train on these downhill sections can be just as challenging. Let's just put a tiny bit of brake on here, just 1 bar, just over 1 bar anyway. Just want to make sure we keep it in check. Good thing I did that, because we had a little bit of speed going there. Down to mid-gear, we don't need much torque right now. The speed limit's gone up to 60, and it's going to keep going up apparently, so no problems here. Here comes the tunnel. I think this might be one of the last tunnels before we get injected into Iron Ore Mine West, so let's just I'm going to add a little bit more coal here, because I'm going to have to close these fire doors, or I should really close them for the tunnel, so make sure that fire keeps going. Whistle! Boiler pressure healthy, water level healthy. Let's stop pumping water. Yeah, okay. Got a little bit of distance to go still till we reach that yellow dot there, Iron Ore Mine West. That looks like an 80 that just buzzed by. So we are no problems on speed limit here, we're only doing 40. So let's get the power on, speed this thing up a bit. Here comes another tunnel. I'm not going to touch the fire. I added coal just now, so that should be fine. Coming up to 50k an hour. Still in that 80 zone, I believe. Ooh, okay, now it's a 90. And that looks like a downhill as well, so I'm going to back off the throttle a bit, because otherwise we're just going to end up going too fast, potentially. Just because the speed limit's 90 doesn't mean that you should be doing 90. We'll get it up to around 60 or so. You can see the water levels artificially dropped a bit because of the downhill. Oh, there goes an 80. It's funny how those speed signs just flash by like that. Okay, we're well and truly at 60k an hour now. Don't want to go too much faster here. Yeah, this is the fast finish, if I recall correct. Once this tunnel is done, we will be in the station limits of... yeah, I really wish there was a cab light in here. Right, brakes, brakes, brakes. Slow this thing down. We're just relying on this lantern to keep light going in this cab right now. It's a 70 and we're at 60, so that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and stop on the main line of the station, and we'll spend overnight here, I think, and then wait for daylight before we continue on further with our trip. Just past the 60 zone, into a 60 zone here. Off the brakes. Okay. Alright. Oh, boiler pressure's dropped a little bit here as well, that's fine. We're going to be stabling things up for the night, so whoop, that's a lot of water. Let's stop pumping water. Yep, okay, there's Iron Ore Mine West. Whistle! Let's just slow things down here. Get ready to park the train up. And like I said, I'm not going to bother going off to the left. I probably should have stopped in a siding instead of the main line. But there's no other traffic in this game, so it's not like there's any other trains that we're going to be holding up by just stopping here. Station office is to the left-hand side, if I recall correct. And we've got our coal and water filling facilities to the right hand side. Let's just get our wallet ready for that, because we'll be needing to pay for some new coal, some coal and water in the morning to see us through for the rest of the trip. I don't need to actually top up the coal and water. I'm convinced that there's still heaps left in the tender, but you don't get coal everywhere at every stop. There are water towers generally at every stop now, but not coal, so just good to fill whilst we can. Okay. Right, well, let's just call it for a night here, I think, folks. There's a turntable there to the left-hand side, and there's our servicing station. There's our coal chute and our water tower just ahead of that as well. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll let's get the old flashlight going. We'll just go ahead and stop everything here, and yeah, let's go ahead and I think I'm going to kill this fire actually, because it's a bit of a waste of coal, but I don't want things, I don't want an explosion risk somehow. So let's just apply this handbrake and get ready to call it. There's a few things here we need to do as well. Let's turn off the, I'm going to turn off the generator and the lubricator here, because we don't need the lubricator running. You can see that there's still a bit of, it's only used a very small amount of oil, but we'll turn the lubricator off because it does leak apparently if you leave it on. We'll hop up top here as well, and we'll turn off the generator. So we'll put the lantern there. Whoops. It would be rather unsettling and concerning if it modelled, oh look at that, I can see the map through the window. And can see that we are here at Iron Ore Mine West. I'm looking at the map upside down. But yes, I was going to say, it would be crazy if they modelled the lantern smashing to pieces if it fell over. So yes, we're here, and yes, we did come from Goods Factory. So this is the end of day one. We came up here to Food Factory. Goods Factory is where we started, came up to Food Factory, snaked all the way across the top of the map, and here we are at Iron Ore Mine West. So that's the end of day one, folks. And yeah, it's quite late right now. That looks like it's 10:30 or something. Yep, 10:30. So yeah, we'll go ahead and just enter the station building, and in the morning I'll top up coal and water, and yeah, we can see, yep, there's our coal and water out there. And then we'll continue heading south to Machine Factory in town. So that's the morning's job anyway. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit of shut-eye perhaps at the station office. The old Iron Ore Mine West. Okay, so we're here at Iron Ore Mine West. So we're going to get coal and water tomorrow morning, past Machine Factory in town, past City Southwest, past the sawmill, and all the way across the bottom of the map before we can get to Harbour and Town, where we'll get our next load of coal and water. So yes, I'm thinking coal and water tomorrow morning before we make our next leg across to Harbour and Town, I'm thinking. So yes, that's going to be the plan anyway. Once we've done that, we can head north again, pass over Goods Factory like I mentioned before, do the old loop-de-loop, and then come down to Steel Mill. So that will be our last destination there. So anyway, let's pass the time now, because yeah, we won't be able to sleep in the game, but we'll just wait for morning here for a bit, and we'll continue when the suns come up once again. So just excuse me whilst I use the facilities. Okay, it's bright and early in the morning. It's just coming up to almost 7 a.m. in the morning. I thought I'd get an early-ish kind of start. I know it's not as early as it could be, but I just want enough light as well on the old landscape, because yeah, you can see there that the sun is just kind of blinking over the mountains there. But anyway, yes, I'm thinking we'll break up the train, we'll pull into the coal and water servicing station there on the right hand side, and yeah, we'll need to pull forward to the tunnel and then back in and fill this thing up with coal and water. So let's just go ahead and separate the train right now, and then get this thing moved over to the filling station. Okay, so yeah, we haven't used any money yet in our sandbox wallet, which is, we've only got 10k, so hopefully that's enough to get us around the map, fuel, coal and water wise I should say. So yeah, hopefully it should be fine. Yeah, that looks like just over $1,700, so that's fine. We do have 10k, so I think we should be fine for this trip. Like I mentioned before, I think we're only going to need to top up coal and water twice, this being the first time, and then once again at Harbour and Town, and then I think realistically probably don't even need to fill up coal and water here, but I just want to play it on the safe side a little bit. So we've got our coal, let's just pull forward, get the water. This is a lot easier to fill than the steam shunter. For those of you who are wondering how to fuel and water the steam shunter, I did do a bit of a video on that one actually, and I'll put a card up above for that right now if you want to check that out, because there's definitely a little bit of toing and froing with the water nozzle especially to get it lined up. Nothing really like that with this locomotive. It's a lot more straightforward. It's got a nice open water hatch which is very wide, so there's not much aligning and stuff like that to do with it, like you do have to with the S060. So yeah, check out that video if you need help with the steam shunter refueling it. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of water now. And just waiting for, hang on, let's just pull forward, just waiting for a little beep. Come on. There we go. Quick, handbrake. You can see this locomotive, just like the S060, seems to use more water than it does coal. And that's a little bit concerning, but we do have this huge tender at the end of the day, so really, if you're running out of water with this locomotive, you're really doing something wrong, because yeah, there's a huge amount of water in that tender. So there's a grand or so for water so far, and we are in day 2 at the moment, so let's go ahead and just get everything closed up and rejoin our train and get out of here, shall we? Okay, so I need to get this fire going as well, and I'm just going to do a bit of a bump shunt into the train carriages behind us. So let's get the fire going, keep the damper low because I don't want a roaring fire. We're going to hit those trains any second now. Listen for the bump. Oh, there you go. That ought to wake up the passengers if they're not already awake. Okay, well, at least we have made contact with the carriages now. We'll just go ahead and recouple up and get everything set up here. Brake hoses. Our fire's going. We'll just release the handbrake on this carriage here, which I did set last night in the game. Right, so welcome to day 2, folks. This is day 2 of my driving around the map video. Day 2 in the game, I should say. So yeah, there's another SH282 there. Cool. Right, looks like our air pump is working to fill up the brake part there. Make sure our brakes are off, and let's get going. Let's continue our run. We'll be heading south now because we've whoops, we're going backwards even. That's not ideal. Want to go forwards. That would be ideal. Whistle. And away we go for day 2. So we're heading south now. So we've made a bit of progress so far. I would say that we've probably made about 1/4 of the way around the map so far. So We're about 25% in, more or less, this journey. And hopefully today it's going to be a nice and easy run as well, because yesterday the weather was fine, and today it looks like it's going to be another great day as well. So let's make the most of this weather and keep this train moving. As I mentioned earlier, we will be rolling through Machine Factory, which is going to be our next stop. Oh, there's a lot of water in there. And I'm not going to stop at Machine Factory, so here we are right here. So we're heading south right now to Machine Factory. So not going to stop there, just keep on going. And then to City Southwest after that. Now at City Southwest, at all of these stops anyway, there is water, but I don't think we're going to need to fill every single time. So at City Southwest, I will stop at the platforms there. And then afterwards, I think I'm just going to go south, as mentioned earlier, down to Sawmill. We could go this way. Yeah, and then go across the harbour and town that way, but it's not really going around the entire map doing it that way, and we are really slowing down here. So let's get the power on. It's kind of losing track. One thing I realised as well is I forgot to turn on the generator just now, and that's why we have no headlights. So we're going to have to stop in a second, or I don't know, next stop maybe, and turn on the generator. Anyway, not critical. We'll just keep it going. We'll be out of this long tunnel soon, hopefully. There it is. There's the exit. Let's head on to the exterior view and just have a bit of a look-see. I think we must be going down a downhill because I can hear the train picking up in rhythm. And I'm not on the power. Burning a little bit dirty here, as you can see. That's not the end of the world. Right, so just passed through a set of points leading off to the left-hand side a little bit. That's basically taking us towards Machine Factory in town. And look at that. So majestic, the old SH282. It's definitely a very magnificent locomotive, and lots of power under the hood as well. Speaking of power, I think let's just keep this damper open because the boiler pressure is at 9 bar at the moment. We're doing well for time. Just before lunchtime at the moment, so still the morning. Let's add a little bit more coal into the old firebox here. Keep this thing going. Every time I look inside that cavernous firebox, I'm just in awe. That thing is massive inside there. Right, so here we are. We're halfway between Iron Ore Mine West and Machine Factory. We'll continue our way down after Machine Factory towards City Southwest, like I mentioned. Sawmill, and then we can begin our run over to the east. By that time, will probably be day 3, maybe? I don't know. We'll probably spend the night at City Southwest, potentially. We'll see how we go. But yeah, we'll see how good of a time we managed to make today, I guess. But for the moment, here's Machine Factory in front of us. So we'll keep on chugging towards Machine Factory. I'm not going to stop there like I did say. Just need to watch these points as we go rolling through though. This is a new sandbox session, so I don't think there's been any changes to points and things like that, but just need to be careful. I think we've got enough boiler pressure now. I'm just going to close off the damper a little bit. And seeing as I think we're going to be coasting for a fair while to go now, so whistle! Let everyone know that the Machine Factory know that we are coming into town. And there's Machine Factory right there. So I think these points are set correctly. Just going to roll through town here. Actually, there are some platforms there from the looks. Well, it is called Machine Factory and Town, I believe. So you know what? I probably should stop here at Machine Factory in town. I don't know. Should I? I've only got a few seconds left to make a choice. I need to set the points ahead if we're going to stop at those platforms. Do I do it? You know what? I'm gonna do it. I know I said I'm not gonna do it, but I'm gonna stop at Machine Factory just so we can satisfy. I know this is all about driving around the entire map, but we've got passenger wagons, man. We'll just make a quick stop here. We're not going to stop too long, so don't worry. Need to get out and stretch our legs a little bit. It's a good thing I closed down the damper though, because otherwise our steam pressure will be going through the roof right now and blowing off the safety valve and all that kind of stuff. We don't want to be doing that. Actually, I might be stopping short. Quick, put the power on, just to get us past the platform a little bit. Brakes! Okay, that's fine. Okay, well, we are here at Machine Factory and Town. And yeah, well, the time is 11:30 from the looks, so just before lunchtime. And you know what? It's time to go. I'm not going to hang around. It is day's going to get on otherwise. We still got a fair way to go, so let's not waste time. Make a quick exit out of Machine Factory here. And we are heading south still. So next stop after this is going to be City Southwest. So here we are right now. We'll continue south to City Southwest. And after that, we'll be going to Sawmill. So there's City Southwest right there. That's our next stop anyway. So I think I'll continue down to Sawmill after that. And then at that time, we can go ahead and head east towards Harbour and Town. And we are really pushing this thing. You can see the embers flying. There's our coal and water store, and yeah, it looks like some big power there in the engine shed. Got a DH4 there actually. I put a card up above for the time that I did drive the DH4 the first time. You might be interested in watching that video maybe. The DH4 is an interesting locomotive. It's a diesel hydraulic, so not a diesel electric where you've got the diesel engine driving a generator driving the traction motors. A diesel hydraulic basically drives a fluid coupling or some sort of transmission anyway, some sort of hydraulic transmission, which may as well be an automatic transmission. Torque converters and whatnot. And I'm just having some water issues here once again, folks, so just don't mind me, okay, because I am I'm really not sure what's going on here, but I don't know whether we are too full or too empty, and I don't want to cause an explosion, so driving around the entire map, but this time with the SH282. And will we make it? I don't know. I can't tell how much water I've got in the boiler right now, so this thing could explode at any moment. And oh god, we're going way too fast. Brakes, brakes. Got the brakes on full, got the brakes on full. Got to slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Oh, okay. We're entering it. We are in a 60 zone. We're doing well over 60 just now, so we're coming up to 80, and our water level is actually quite low. But that's because we're going down the downhill at the moment, I'm pretty sure. The important thing is we haven't exploded just yet, so if we can just maintain this non-exploded state, that would be quite ideal, I think. So let's see how we go through these points. It's 100k an hour zone right now. Looks like more downhill, so yeah, looks like our fire is kind of dying there as well. Let's use the old expert shovel. And I can hear the train speeding up there. Water levels all over the shop there. Okay, there's a 100k an hour zone now. And water level is looking fine and dandy, so let's turn off the old injector. That's a lot of water actually, considering we're going down a hill. If we're seeing that much on the gauge, we are probably a little bit over full, but better than being under full. Yeah, we're making some good speed here as we roar on down towards City Southwest, and we shouldn't be there. Shouldn't be too long now, and we'll be there actually. We're about, yeah, we're not too far away. So, got to keep tabs on this speed and make sure we slow down soon. Because we've got some fair momentum under us right now. It's like an 80 and reducing. So yeah, we're doing just under 80. Let's start getting onto the brakes. Slow this train down. Okay, there comes a junction there, that's fine. We'll continue straight. I think what I'm going to do, apart from announcing our arrival via the whistle at City Southwest, is I can back into the platforms, but I'm just going to go head first into the platforms there, and then once we finish up our loading, our simulated passenger loading process or unloading process, I'll go ahead and just back the train up, and then we'll head on out of here, I think. So I think that's the way I'm going to handle it. Let's just slow the train down a little bit. Yeah, we got heaps of water, way too much water. Yeah, we don't want to go that way over to the far right, because that's where the engine yard and crane and whatnot are. But straight ahead of us is the way to the platform, so we'll keep on going. And then that's the direction we need to head out of here eventually, in just a few moments anyway. Oh, we'll do the needful anyway and stop at the platforms here. It's City Southwest after all. It's a fairly major kind of township in the game. It's a fairly like capital kind of city, I guess you could call it. So just make sure that the points are set correctly here. We should really have the bell on because we're going through this level crossing, but anyway. We'll just ring the bell. Sorry, the whistle for what it's worth. Yeah, that's way too much water. Just like I thought a few moments ago, we were overfilling it. So straight into the platforms. Go straight ahead. And we'll make sure that we pull on the brake before we hit the end buffers, because we don't want to do that, do we? Don't want to hit the end buffers, I mean. Well, I thought I'd use this opportunity to turn on the generator because the headlight's not running at the moment, so might as well hop up top here whilst we are at City Southwest boarding and, well, disboarding passengers, I guess. And there we go, our headlights are working, so that's good. Or headlamp is working. Right, so I think it's time to get out of here because, yeah, well, this is City Southwest anyway, so quick update, looks like it is coming up to almost 2 p.m, so it's 1:30 at the moment, just after lunchtime. And we still have to go to Sawmill, and then from there we shall continue on over to, well, we'll be starting our big run east to Harbour and Town. So let's go ahead and sort that out. Looks like our fire is almost dying, so let's go and fix that up too. Right, so tended to the fire there, got some more coal in the old firebox. Might as well just add a little bit more here. And not wasting any time once again. Brakes off, let's reverse out of here. Take this handbrake off. And so yes, we'll need to back right out of here. Let's just open these cylinder drains up a little bit. So we'll back out to the set of points. There's a bit of a Y, I guess, kind of section in this station that allows you to turn the train around effectively. We've got way too much water still, so I'm not touching the water there for a long time. So let's go ahead and run through those points and get this train moving in the correct direction. Okay, so this is the set of points that I'm referring to. So I need to go off to the left hand side, and that's our way out of here. That's our ticket to the east, basically. And that will take us in the direction of Harbour and Town. I am going to go via the sawmill, however, so... yeah, okay, water levels finally come down. But I'm not going to add any for a little while still. Alright, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Whistle! Okay, so we're more or less out of City Southwest now, just on the city limits of City Southwest. So here we are right here now. We have certainly made our way around the map so far. What we need to do is make sure we head off to the right hand side. There's a set of points coming up. That will take us down there to Sawmill. So, yep, that point will need to change. Very good. Okay, I think we're going to need a bit of power shortly because there is a bit of an incline off to the right hand side, which is the way that we are going. So we're going to need a bit of power to climb this incline. So let's get the momentum going a little bit. It's only 20 around that curve though, so can't go too fast. We are already doing about 25. But you can see there's an incline. It's not a crazy incline, but still something. Our boiler pressure is a little bit low. It's below 9 bar right now. Once we round this curve, we'll get the power on. Ooh, the train's... the curves are slowing down the train as well. That curve is, yeah, reasonably sharp actually. The rest of the train's still going through the point, so I don't want to put the power on just yet. We'll just ease it on. Still doing 20. Oops. Let's do something about this fire situation because we're going to need just a little bit of fire going here to bring our pressure up. I think the rest of the train should almost be through those points by now. Boiler pressure's improved a bit, but we're going to have to get onto the power now. Actually, I don't think there's too much of an incline left anyway, so I think it should be rather smooth sailing as we go towards Sawmill. Shouldn't have too much trouble now, I don't think. And I must say, looks like we are being blessed with yet another day of wondrous weather in the game, which is good. Day 2 so far, good weather. Day 1 was good weather as well, so gonna snake our way down to the far southwest corner of the map there, past Sawmill, then we'll begin our eastward journey all the way across to Harbour and Town, where we'll probably stay the night there, and then it's probably going to be day 3, I guess. See how far we can make it today anyway. I mean, it is early afternoon right now. There's City Southwest, just saying goodbye to that. Still got quite a bit of sunlight, so let's keep the speed up. Let's not hang around here. I'm glad that we did stop at the platforms at City Southwest, just for that extra bit of realism as well. Still got that full water, because we're going up a hill. As we get closer to that Sawmill as well, there is going to be another set of inclines, but nothing too bad. Let's just ease back on the reverser here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more damper here because it was a minimal damper just now. I'll add just added a few clicks there just to help the fire a bit. Help get this boiler pressure going because we are going up a hill, I think. And boiler pressure is just shy of 9 bar, so a little bit more pressure wouldn't hurt us. I must say this SH282 really makes light work of this of these carriages at around 300 ton. It's basically a cakewalk for the most part. And I'm just running the fire nice and easy. Really not getting the firebox white hot, as it were. No need. There's no need. There's no need to be sitting on the safety valve the entire time. It's just a waste of resources and extra noise pollution, which we don't need as well. So really, running these steam engines, it's all about managing your power output based off the load that you have. If you don't have a heavy load, there's no need to run your dampers too hot. Keep them towards the closed position. And just read your smoke. You can see there the smoke is once again nice and grey, so that means it's nice optimal combustion going on. Don't want smoke that's too dark or too light even for that matter. We're just kissing the top of the water gauge there, which is fine. We're at a steady 9 bar on the boiler pressure as well, as you can see there. Just snaking our way around the valley at the moment. Couldn't really ask for better weather than this. It's a beautiful day to be driving the SH282, that's for sure. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like our water levels are hanging on there, so not touching the injector here. I have reduced the damper down in the meantime just a little bit, back to minimum. Because it really doesn't seem like we need much fire right now, so just adding a bit of power now and again. And really, I guess you could argue that I could be going a little bit faster than this, but actually we are here at Sawmill just now, so no need for speed right now. We'll just go ahead and cruise on through. I don't think there's any platforms here. We'll just go ahead and do the needful there. But aside from that, I think it's going to be a straight run, straight through here. Switches are set fine. Not going to stop here. There is water, but we do not need any water. We are just fine. Oh, there's a steam shunter. I've had lots of fun with that shunter so far in this game. Actually, if you want to check out a video on the first look I did of that shunter, that one right there, the steam shunter. This is the one I did drive around this map as well in that video I did post up earlier on the screen. But yes, I'll put up a card right now for the first look of this shunter if you want to check it out. That thing just eats the fuel up though, so definitely not a good choice for running around the map in my opinion, unless you want to stop at every station to get water and stop as much as you can to get coal wherever you can find it basically. Okay, so it looks like it's coming up to 4:45 there in the afternoon, and you know what, I think it's time to just pick up the pace a little bit because I think we've kind of been lagging a little bit so far, so let's get the speed up. And we do have a bit of a decline, a bit of a downhill in front of us actually. We're just leaving Sawmill, so we're in this section here. There is a set of points coming up in a little bit. We've got to make sure we head to the right hand side on those ones, but that's not for a little while yet. Let's go ahead. There's a set of points here which yeah, there's a bit of a curve coming up as well, so I don't want to go too fast, but it's all downhill here actually, so the train should be accelerating all by itself very shortly. Actually, we'll probably have to start riding the brakes here a little bit. We'll just keep tabs on our speed here. We don't want to speed up too much, because some places around here it's only 40, so we don't want to overcook things and then find out we're in trouble. As we continue on, we are almost halfway, I would say. Oh, there's a minus 1.4%, just as I thought. Well, I knew it was going to be a downhill anyway. Yeah, and a 50 limit. Okay, I can hear the squeals just telling me to be careful. Don't want to go too fast here. Yep, now it's 40, so pretty much bang on 40 here. And slowing. The day is getting on, and looks like the water level is dropping a little bit because of the downhill section, but go ahead and just add a little bit more. I'd just like to see the water a little bit higher than that, even on the downhill sections. Another beautiful run in the afternoon, just like we had yesterday in the game. I guess we'll have to wait to see what day 3 has in store for us, because I will be spending the night, I think, at Harbour and Town. And then we'll do day 3 for the final leg, going from Harbour and Town up to, well, up and around, and then finish in the middle with the steel mill. But yes, let's see how far we can get to Harbour and Town before it gets too dark, hopefully. If it gets dark, we'll just have to run with the old lantern. Add a little bit of fire here, just keep this fire going. Yeah, water level's still fine. Let's keep it on going, keep on going. Yeah, that's 60. Okay, yep, our junction's coming up, so let's get the old comms radio ready. We must be getting close now. We've got to make sure we head to the right hand side, and then to the right again after that. So that's the section right there. Let's have a quick look and see where we're at. What's it say? What's it say? That is, come on. Let's get off the brake here, because we are slowing down way too much. Yep, okay, we're going off to the right, so that's fine. Let's put this power on because we've slowed right down here. Should have come off the brake a bit earlier, but anyway, that's fine. And our water level is full now that we're on a level. I think we filled up way too much once again, so I'm not going to touch the water. Just, we're playing it a little bit too safe with the water level, I think. In reality, you would not want to overfill the water level. That could cause all sorts of priming issues. Yeah, you can start to see daylight there at the top of the coal pile. I just saw the coal pile shift down a little bit there, so we are going through the coal. And I'm glad that we did top up at Iron Ore Mine West earlier in the day. Now that the day is drawing to a close, we're in between stations, so there's not going to be a chance here to stop for the night kind of thing. We're just going to have to keep pushing until we get to Harbour and Town, I think. So there's a good chance we're going to be running in the dark tonight. But that's fine. We got the little lantern, even if we don't have a cab light. Got some sparks flying out of the chimney there. We are doing a bit of a hard pull right now. Got the throttle on rather hard right now. Yep, we're going full throttle, so water gauge has gone a little bit hard to read right now. That does look like it's full though, so I'm not gonna add any water. There's a nice blue tinge there, and with the sun against it, you can see it, I think, a lot easier. When the sun, when it's in the shadow, it's kind of hard sometimes. Even now though, it's just a little bit concerning. Kind of makes you feel alive, doesn't it, when you're trying to read that water gauge if it's too low. Nothing like the fear of just exploding at a moment's notice, or even without a moment's notice. I'm gonna try and just blow off a little bit of water, maybe. There we go. There's the top of the water. Nice. That's what I want to see. That's a bit of a waste of water doing that, blowing off the water, but just need that peace of mind sometimes. Water gauge is all over the place though, isn't it? Anyway, that's fine. We can't stare at the water gauge all day, just for most of the day. Okay, so there's Bob's garage off to the left hand side. We are going to the right. Let's just take the edge off this speed a little bit, because it is only 30, I believe, around here. Yeah, and here comes an uphill section, so let's off with the brake and on with the power. We've got a nice healthy amount of boiler pressure. The day's getting on. We're going to start losing light soon. Shadows are getting a little bit long now for the coming up to the close for day 2, but yeah, we're not stopping anytime soon because we need to go all the way to Harbour and Town still, so strap yourselves in and well, yeah, just relax, I guess, and enjoy the ride as we continue eastward towards Harbour and Town. Got another set of points coming up soon. Got to make sure we go off to the right hand side there. Otherwise we'll be going through Forest South, which we don't want to be doing. So off to the right hand side, and that will continue our eastward journey. So yep, we'll be crossing over that bridge up ahead there. And looks like those points are set to the right hand side, so that's very good. Okay, so I think there's a little bit of a hilly section up here at the moment. This is pretty much the region we'll be passing through. So that looked like a 40 that just went by there. Actually, I think this might be a downhill section. You can see the day is coming to an end once again. The end of day 2 now. Actually, this is a little bit of an incline. This is like a 0.6, I believe. I'm gonna have to get that lantern out, I think, because I'm really having trouble reading this water gauge right now, and it's definitely a little bit nerve-wracking because having come all this way now, we really don't want to run into any problems. Oh, I think I just saw the top there of the water. Yeah, okay, it's just kissing the top, that's fine. It's not an exact science, is it, this water glass? What with all the toing and froing of the engine. Let's just keep this fire happy. It's starting to get a bit cold as well, so a little bit of heat in the cab. Let's get some light in the cab as well, because daylight is fast coming to an end. It actually does look like clouds are rolling in a little bit. We might actually be getting some rain tomorrow in the game, which should be interesting. The other thing that's going to be interesting is if it does rain, leaving Harbour and Town and going up the easterly set of inclines, that's going to be an interesting kind of run. Even though it's not an exceedingly heavy train, like I have said before. We're looking at about 300 tons, so this engine can easily handle 300 ton, whether it's up a hill or going straight. But yeah, just interesting to see how the weather's changing a bit in the game. I think it might start to rain a little bit, maybe even tonight, who knows. We'll just have to keep on going and see what weather we encounter. Now the other thing is, we've got a rather straight-ish section at the moment, but soon we'll be coming upon some rather, well, yeah, once we go over there, this section here is going to be a little bit more kind of tight curves and things like that. So, because this locomotive has a rather, well, not short, long wheelbase, so going around curves, you do have to be careful. Okay, so we are making progress here, passing over this viaduct. Just to the east of Forest South, looking on the map, which I'm not looking at the map right now, it's probably a bit hard to visualize, but I'm really liking this view right here. Look at this. As the weather starts rolling in over the valley, it really is a beautiful view. Anyway, let's have a look at the map. So yes, here we are just crossing over that bridge, heading east, and I can start to see rain. Yep, that's rain, alright. So, just as I thought, the weather is going to start coming in. And that looks like a 60 up ahead. A junction? Junction. Yes, there is a junction. I've gone through a few junctions so far. This will be another one. And we have to make sure that we are going off to the right once again. Let's just get a little bit of braking going. And we are moving, the points are set to the right, so that's fine. Water level's okay, no problems there. Oh, look at that. Look at the way the light just cuts through what looks like a little bit of fog there. Just get off the power a bit here. I mean, off the brake, I should say. And here comes the incline, so 70 and reducing, so I think shortly we'll be saying goodbye to all these nice drawn out kind of straight sections of track. We'll be coming into a more kind of tight twisty section soon. Not for a little while, but yeah, we've still got a nice little straight section coming up here, but then as we get here, yeah, getting close to Harbour and Town anyway, which is where we are going tonight in the game. And then heading up tomorrow for day 3 to the steel mill for the last leg. But yes, that's our position more or less at the moment. The blue marker. Boiler pressure is just in the sweet spot there. A little bit more coal here. I must say, I am loving this expert shovel. This is the way to play this game. If you're after realism and you want fine control of your firebox, this is the way to play. Got a little bit of light drizzle, a bit of light precipitation here. Nothing to really write home about at the moment. It might get worse though as the night draws on, as we have to drive through the night here, so yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out on these tight sections coming up, because I'm sure the speed limits are going to start to drop soon. Not yet, because we've still got some straight sections ahead, but soon we'll be slowing down again, I think. Keep the boiler happy here. Good thing I added that little bit of coal just now because we're in a tunnel. And this looks like it's going to be a rather drawn out tunnel, this one. So you shouldn't be adding any coal whilst you're in a tunnel. If you've played Microsoft Train Simulator, there's a classic. You'll know all about that drafting issue that you get in the tunnels, where the fire can come back and consume you due to the vacuum. Anyway, yeah, water's happy again. That's I think I'm running the water just a little bit too high, but anyway, just erring on the side of caution, I guess. Got some good momentum coming through. Just keeping the speed up for as long as we can here, because soon we won't be able to anymore. Once we get through into those tight sections just before Harbour and Town. Yeah, I can feel this train speeding up, so... Okay, that's a 50. We're pretty much doing 50, so let's slow things down a bit here. Okay, I think that's okay. Just put a damper on the old speed there. Whistle, close up the firebox. Because we have a tunnel. Yeah, let's put a bit more braking on. I can feel the train is going around a bit of a curvy section now. I think this is the beginning of those tight curved sections. Water level is fine. Okay, I've had to slow down just a little bit here. The rain is picking up, and we are more or less through into the more tight curved sections of the track, so I'm just taking it easy here. I don't want to push things too hard. We have come a long way, so there's no point in ruining things now. We don't want to cause any undue trouble. The way the headlight just cuts through the darkness there is definitely a sight to behold. Can definitely hear the rain coming down. The high beam is just lighting up the night here. Just keeping an eagle eye on the proceedings. Probably speed things up just slightly here, but what's the point? I think we're making good progress. We're pretty much at the end of those straight sections now, so I'm just going to put a little bit of braking on because I can feel the train is starting to go through those tight curves now, and I don't want to be going too fast for that. Especially in the rain here. Yeah, that's a 20, so we are doing over 20, so got to keep the speed in check. Don't want to exceed the speed limit by too much there. Be inviting trouble. It seems like this is more of a downhill section potentially as well, so we'll be ready on the brake if we need it. Might just add just a tiny bit actually. Full moon tonight. Yeah, that's a fair curve right there. long wheelbase of this locomotive, just doing its best. That looked like a 30, I think. Yeah, 30, and increasing after this, so that's good. So it looks like we might be well and truly through those tight curved sections. That's good. So it's gonna straighten up a little bit now. You know what? I'm gonna put the lantern here so I can actually see the map a little bit better. Because otherwise it's very difficult to see what's going on. Ooh, hang on. It does sound like there's some moisture in the cylinders there. So I've just opened the drain valves, cylinder drains. Not far from Harbour and Town now. We'll probably start seeing the lights in just a moment. That looks like a 50, so okay, alright. Yeah, looks like the track. We've just got a nice wide right-hander coming up, but that's fine. That's way better than what we've just been through there. You can see behind us. So yeah, we'll be coming through this section here soon, down the hill into Harbour and Town. And I think at that point we'll be well and truly deserving of a nice bit of kip. And it looks like it's 10 PM right now in the game, so 10:10. I think it's well and truly almost bedtime, folks. So let's keep this train moving. Got to try and make it to Harbour and Town before too long. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, there's a little bit of wheel spin. Got wet rails now, so it has just rained. Yeah, I'd say we're just around the corner from Harbour and Town. We'll keep it moving. Got the light from the moon, it looks like, just kind of illuminating the roofs of the cars there. That's rather cool. Yes, it's very dark in here. I must say, without this lantern, we'd really be in trouble, I think, because there's not much light otherwise, and really, it's difficult to read these gauges, isn't it? And there's no hope of looking at the water gauge of that. It's completely in the dark. So let's put this lantern down here. I think you can see that there's enough water there. It's kissing the top. So fire going. That's a 40 zone. I can hear the train speeding up, so let's close off this damper to the minimum setting, maybe just one click actually. No, actually I'm just going to go right down to minimum because the boiler pressure is quite elevated. We're going to blow off the steam relief valve in a second if we're not careful. We don't need the steam pressure right now. To get ready on the brake here. Yep, brake, 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 brake. We're awful close now to Harbour and Town. There's a set of points coming up soon. We'll go straight through those. And I know there's not much light outside, so apologies for that. You can't really see much outside because it's quite dark, but we've got a little bit of light in here at least. The headlights doing their best to light up the landscape in front of us. That is high beam, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so yeah, we're getting closer to Harbour and Town. Yep, I can start to see those red lights in the distance now. There they are. That is Harbour and Town. That's a welcome sight right now. We have to keep on pushing through the darkness. Harbour and Town really looks nice at night time as well, doesn't it? Look at all those lights. Can't really miss it. It's all lit up. Look at that. That's where we'll be spending the night in just a few moments once we head down this hill. Water gauge playing tricks on me again. I think it is full, I'm pretty sure. Oh well, I guess we'll find out in just a few moments when we explode. I think the water gauge is harder to read than the steam shunter, that's for sure. That does make this locomotive a bit more of a challenge, I guess. So it's not all trouble-free in paradise, is it? With the SH282. Even though you've got that long range and you've got that power, there are some issues, there are some cons to it. There's no cap light either, like I've said a few times now. I guess it must be annoying me. Ooh, some moisture, I think. Okay, alright, those points are set correctly. Let's get a little bit of speed going here. Keep this fire happy. And very shortly we'll be starting our way downhill towards Harbour and Town. So we do need to be going off to the right hand side here. And we'll start our descent into Harbour and Town. Not long now. Okay, so we're heading down this rather famous downhill stretch that leads into Harbour and Town. All railroads go downwards into Harbour and Town. It's just getting out of Harbour and Town that's the issue, and we'll be having that fight tomorrow. But that can be tomorrow's fight, I think. Hopefully the rain will subside by tomorrow morning as well. And we will get one more load of coal and water. I will do that tomorrow morning again because it's a little bit late now. All I want to do is basically take this thing into, well, I'll pull up beside the station house and basically just plonk myself down on the sofa, I think. I think we've got too much water. But yes, we've got our servicing points just there, immediately in front of us. We'll be going through them tomorrow morning off to the right hand side instead of straight like we are now. So I will have to reverse this train tomorrow just to go through those points, but anyway, that's fine. I'm really worried about this water level, but anyway. Let's have a look. Got some big power once again in the engine shed. Got an SH282. Ooh, got a DM3, the old DM3. Got a DE6. Actually, it looks like we've got two steamers there. So yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Okay, our station house is just off to the right hand side. And I'm getting tired, so I must say, it's been another productive day. I'm just going to drop the fire here. I know it's wasting a bit of coal, but that's fine. Don't want to risk anything right now. Okay, the station house is just over there somewhere, I think. So we'll get the brakes on and we'll park this thing up for the night. Once again, there's the station house. So yes, let's put the brakes on. Go ahead and put the handbrake on here. Okay, done. Right. Throttle's closed. So yeah, I think the water's full. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, should be fine. Let's take this old lantern. We'll leave the world map in there, that's fine, but we'll yeah, okay, we'll use a little bit of oil now, but really we still haven't really used that much. It's still like 80% full, the oil level, so just do the old needful here. Sorry about this, folks. I know you kind of have to see me doing this, but that's one of those things, isn't it? Stabling the locomotive. That's the generator off, lubricator's off. I probably won't bother with the air pump, but yeah, anyway, that's it is, yeah, okay, it's just past midnight. It's 12:30 in the morning, so we'll be heading out that direction tomorrow, but not before we reverse a little bit and service the locomotive. So yeah, let's go ahead and just go to the station office, shall we? Okay, this lantern's really handy, I must say. I wonder if it's possible to buy more than one lantern. That'll be a good idea, I think. Anyway, Harbour and Town, yes. So today, this is the end of day 2. So day 2, we started off Iron Ore Mine West, filled up coal and water, came down through Machine Factory in Town. I did stop there at the platforms, even though I said I wouldn't. I thought I'd do the right thing. Come through City Southwest, stopped at that platform as well, and then after that we made our way down, snaked to the bottom to Sawmill, and just ran straight through there, and then began our journey eastward as it started to rain. Made our way through this section here with the tight curves, and then to Harbour and Town. So yeah, that's where we are so far, and tomorrow's a new day. We'll begin our journey northward. I think in the meantime though, it is time for bed finally. It's 1 AM in the game, so this sofa never looked so good. Let's go to sleep and begin a new day tomorrow. The last day, I think, day 3, last leg of the journey, and we still got a fair amount of cash there in the old wallet, $7,200 I think. So yes, tomorrow we'll continue on from Harbour and Town. We'll get another load, our second load of coal and water, and just head up northward. This will be our final leg. Do the old loop and then come down. We'll be going above Goods Factory in Town, and then when we do that loop, we'll go past Oil Well North and then down to Steel Mill, like I've mentioned in the past. So yes, that is the plan anyway, and there's a lot of jobs here, but not doing any of them because this is not what this video is about. This video is about running around the entire map. So, all right, good night. And in true Derail Valley form, good morning everybody. Look at that lovely weather outside. Okay, well, just as I did have this fear, and now I'm looking at the forecast. It's basically rain and cloud all the way through on the last day of our journey. It's 6:45 right now, so no better time I think to run out there. I don't even have an umbrella. I'm just going to have to go for it. Run through the rain and back this train up. I should have probably left these carriages in a siding somewhere so I could just back up a lot easier this morning. But anyway, that's the way things go, isn't it? So this morning we'll be doing the last leg. So I think not long now. We just have to back this train up into the servicing, well, back to the roundhouse basically. And it looks like we've got quite a bit of steam pressure from overnight, which is handy. So I'm not going to bother lighting the fire just now, but we'll be doing that shortly. Yeah, Yeah, let's take these brakes off. Anyway, I think I'm not going to bore you all with getting this thing started. Okay, actually I just realized I didn't even put the carriage brakes on last night. No big deal, but anyway, yes, I will see you shortly at the roundhouse. And let me just make sure the lubricator's on first. Yep, okay, it's on. So yes, see you at the roundhouse, and we'll go ahead and get this thing serviced and then get on out of here. Well, thankfully, as I was reversing, it looks like the sun has come out and the rain has kind of stopped, which is always a good sign. I'm not too sure. Oh, okay. Something's locked up, I think. I'm not too sure. Maybe the tender brakes. Go and set these points over. We just need to disconnect that train. This will be our second and last servicing for this journey. And like I did say, I'm really enjoying just the amount... what am I doing? Disconnect the train, boy. I'm really enjoying the longevity of the long range. Gosh, that's better. The long range capability of this SH282. It's way better than the S060 in that regard. Yeah, I think that might have been the tender's brakes that were locked up there. There's a set of brakes on. Yep, that's okay now. So we'll just go ahead and roll on into the servicing area, which is just on the right here, just immediately in front of the engine shed. So just bear with me whilst I sort this out. Now, I've got a feeling that turntable is not lined up, so I'm going to have to stop. Yep, that's not lined up. Quick, let's put the brakes on, because we don't want to tempt fate here. We want to... brakes! Brakes! Oh, no! No! Oh, no. Oh. Oh, that's... yeah. Okay. Well, wouldn't have been the end of the world. We would have been this locomotive, but we still had the other SH282s. Problem is they're on the other end as well, so I don't know how we're gonna... Anyway, I'm not gonna entertain those terrible thoughts right now. It's time to get this thing serviced, so let's sort that out. Right, so we've got a full load of water and coal once again, and looks like my wallet's down to about $3,500, so yeah. That proves that you can actually do the entire map's journey with a 300-ton load, that is, with the SH282, with just the default 10k cash that you get in the sandbox mode, so that's always good to know. Alright, let's reverse hook up the train for the last time, folks, and get out of here and make our way northward on the last leg of this journey. Nice and easy. Really got to stop doing that, but anyway. Got to remember to couple the train up. That's always a good idea. Right, last time. Let's go. Let's get out of here. I'm not going to waste any more time. This thing is serviced, and it's got a full load of coal and water. The brake pot is charging up. Charge. Let's go. And make sure that the handbrakes are off. Yes, they are. Okay. Right. Day 3, folks. This is day 3. Let's go. It's just after 9 AM in the morning. So if we can keep the speed up today, I think we'll be... at our destination of the steel mill, and that will be our terminus for today. Boiler pressure is looking very healthy indeed. We should be there well before nightfall, I think. We're not going to be going into day 4 or anything like that. Oops, let's stay in the train, that always helps. Something is on. There are some brakes that are on somewhere. What's going on? I can hear his squealing sound. Nope. Oh, of course. Right, air pump is off. So I've just had to stop the train here. I just want to get this thing moving already, you know? It's just like, this is not what one needs right now. I actually haven't stopped the train. Still moving, and of course we forget the generator once again. Or I forget the generator, I should say. Gotta stop blaming you folks for all of my issues. This is all my fault. Oh, that's better. I thought I turned on... Oh my... okay, we're going back into the service here. Just bear with me, folks, here. I'm just... Yeah, anyway. Thought I'd spare you all from that. Awkward kind of reversing there. Alright, no excuses now. Gonna get this thing on the road, get the show on the road, even. We're gonna need a good head of steam coming out of here because, as we know, there's inclines coming out of Harbour and Town. And yes, there are, yes. So we're heading off to the east there. There's our inclines, so we should be there in no time at all now. I'm not going to waste time. We're just going to go straight shot up north and over Goods Factory, around that loop, down past Orwell North, and then stop at the steel mill. Okay, so we're going to go straight through Harbour and Town. The good news is, at least the weather is holding out once again. Maybe Derail Valley will be kind to us after all. This is the last day of our journey around the map, so day 3, it'll be good to get some sunshine once again, because we have been spoiled with some sunshine for the past 2 days, haven't we? You can tell that I'm just going through with reckless abandon right now. All the switches are set properly. And frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Okay. Alright, here we go. Just going through. Keep this momentum going. Because soon we'll be bearing off to the left-hand side. It'll be a left-hand curve. As long as we don't bang into any of this other rolling stock lying around here. That's the main thing. Should really have the bell going. Oh well. And going just a little bit too fast through here, I think. But we have to make it because this is the last day and there's no more fooling around. I've got a full load of coal and water, so if I need to crank up this pressure, I really will. I'm just going to add a little bit of braking here for this curve because I know from experience it's a little bit tight. And I don't want to mess things up here at the last, pretty much the last turn before the straight. Heaps of water. Alright. Okay, let's add a little bit of reverser here. Let's get ready to throw on the power because we've got heaps of boiler pressure here. Once we're through these points, I tell you, I'm not going to hold back anymore. Here's a hill, but you know what? I can tell Derail Valley where it's put its hill in just a moment. We've got SH282 power right here. And we are bearing down on the rails hard. So up the hill we go. I'm not going to let no hill slow us down. I'm just secretly glad it's not raining though, because that would have made things a lot more kind of a lot more interesting. And to be honest, when I first woke up this morning in the game, I was a little bit concerned when I saw all that rain. It looks like the rails have dried off since then, so that's good. This is a hard pull, ladies and gents. This is definitely a hard pull. I've got the throttle open fully here and going up this hill. Gonna have to keep an eye on the boiler pressure. Let's just get a quick look on the outside here at this thing, giving us all she's got. I think it's just holding actually. It might even be slowing down, maybe. She's pulling hard, that's for sure. Come on, SH282, you can do this! What other locomotive could do it with such majestic beauty? And yes, I realize I've still got my high beam on from last night, but that's fine. That's a 60 and more hills. And look at that, the boiler pressure is still healthy. I am going to increase the damper full up, because I think the boiler pressure might be dropping ever so slightly. So let's keep that damper open. Really, this load isn't that much of an issue for this locomotive, so 300 ton is a walk in the park, really. I'm not surprised that we're flying up this hill right now. This is the last leg, so let's finish on a high note here. Come on, don't slow down on me. Right, let's get this shovel out. Let's get this coal going. It's slowing down. I should have been shoveling this whole time actually. I should be getting this fire white hot right now. Right, dampers up full. They were up full already, but I've just added some more coal. I'm asking more. Boiler pressure's just holding. And it's not exactly optimum. You kind of want it to be plus 12 to get some real performance out of this thing. Like some real speed, I should say. But boiler pressure's not bad. It will be... we should be increasing in speed now. I've added a little bit more coal. Yeah, I can see some sparks flying from the chimney there. Look at that. All those embers fly. Yep, we're pushing this thing now. She's working hard. Just how we like it. Yep, 60, and we're only doing just above 40, so we're fine. Yep, water's fine, boiler pressure's nice, coming up to 12 bar now, so let's reduce the damper down a bit because I've come off the throttle a bit. I think we can afford to go full throttle here. Let's see if we can't get to the steel mill in record time here. Making some good progress. We've left harbour and town as we continue our way northwards here. Just need to make sure we bear off to the right hand side. There's a set of points coming up soon, but not for a little while. Yeah, we could have come down this way and gone to the steel mill, but that's not going around the whole map. I feel like I have to kind of go up here and do this little loop in order to go around the whole map, unfortunately. Or fortunately. Let's live up to the title of this video, shall we? And I'd be interested to get your thoughts as well on whether you'd like me to do this run with some of the other locomotives maybe. Ooh, what's going on here? I think we might be a little bit low on water. We have been burning that fire pretty hot, so I wouldn't be yep, okay. Wow, okay, just caught that. That's just caught that. Be careful with the water level, folks. When you're running the train hard, it's going to go through the water. For the majority of this run, I have been running the fire quite low, so that's kind of got into a false sense of security there, just thinking, oh, I've got heaps of water, when in reality, we probably don't. Okay, water's looking healthy once again. The boiler pressure's come down a little bit because we've been pumping that water in. Looks like a 60 in front of us. I think we've leveled off for the moment, so just coasting now as we continue our way northwards. Okay, so we're coming up to the set of points I was just talking about now. We've been kind of just coasting for the last few minutes there, so nothing really to write home about. Got to make sure we go off to the right hand side here. We don't want to be going to the left because that's going to take us back towards the center of the map, and we don't want to be doing that just now. We want to make sure that we head northward for a bit more and then do the old loop-de-loop. So yep, those points are set fine. Keep on going. Straight through, level ground, 60k now limit. Let's keep this thing moving. Keep her moving, keep her moving. Oh, that looks like a incline sign there. Okay, interesting. We're picking up some speed, so if there's an incline, then have at it, because I've got a bit of excess momentum right now. So give me your hill. Maybe I spoke too soon. I can hear the train slowing down. I've shaved off a bit of speed already. Don't have any power going right now. Yep, okay, that's a plus 1.2. Let's get some power going. Don't know what's going on with the water once again. Yeah, okay, we're full, we're full. Very good. Home stretch, home stretch. Oh, okay, we need some coal. We need some coal. Oh, this fire's gonna go out. I'm excited. This is the last section of the run. We just need to go through that loop-de-loop soon, and then we'll be doing a nice straight high-speed run towards steel mill. Let's get this damper up because our boiler pressure's come down a little bit. Gotta manage that boiler pressure, folks. Let's get some more coal going here because we're gonna need it. And this is the expert shovel, so we need to make sure that we keep that coal level up. It's easy to run out of coal with this thing. And we've got a tender full of coal, so let's have at it. I don't care if I'm wasting a bit of resource right now. The priority is getting this thing home. Right, that's a 40, but going up, so that's fine. I can keep the power on. That looks like a full boiler to me. And that looks like a tunnel as well. Geez, haven't done that for the past few tunnels, have I? Anyway, Okay, we're making our way further up the map here, folks. Water levels dropping a bit. Another tunnel. Do we have time to feed more coal? No, we don't. Just gonna have to hope we've got enough in the firebox there. Water's looking good. Hopefully this is a short tunnel. Making some good progress through here. Speeding along. Doing 50. And there's another incline. No worries, just give me your inclines. I don't care. Derail Valley right now. Okay, yep, so we're heading up this way here. Got to make sure that we do go through those points correctly. Need to make sure that we're bearing off to the left soon. But the goods factory in town is coming up, actually. This is actually where we started this entire journey, but the difference is this time we're flying over goods factory in town, over the bridge. So we're not at ground level right now. We'll be going over goods factory where we started. So that's interesting. Should be just off to the right here in just a moment. Yeah, that's 70, so that's fine. Let's keep this throttle open, folks. Yep, can see the chimneys there for goods factory. So yes, 2 days ago in game, that's where we started this entire journey. And now we're flying over the bridge where we started. Down there somewhere is where we started. Down there. Look at that view. If only it was a bit more sunny today and not so dreary and cloudy. I feel as if it's going to rain again, perhaps. But oh, this is a bit of an incline. This one. I want to make sure. Yeah, look at that. Yep. That's fine. We can easily do this. It's not like we got 1,000 ton behind us. Got a nice light passenger train. Relatively light. Up we go. Yeah, goods factory in town. That's where we picked up the expert shovel as well. Okay, I can actually afford to back off the power a bit because there's going to be some rather sharp curves coming up soon, I believe. Not sure what's going on with the water again. I think that's too full actually, but anyway. I guess I'm erring on the safe side there by just pumping a bit of water in. Right, so we need to make sure we do go off to the left soon, and then we'll do that old loop-de-loop. So, yeah, there's going to be a set of inclines just before that loop-de-loop. I don't know what's going on with the water. I think it's full. I think it's full. Maybe I should just dump the fire out because I'm panicking right now. Maybe we've got a grenade on our hands after all. Is this the end? I don't know. I am not sure. Well, whatever it is, whatever's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I think it's full. I don't think we need any more water there. I'm waiting for an explosion any second now. Boom! The entire locomotive just explodes. Not working hard once again. Got those embers flying. Look at those embers. You know it's working hard when it does that. Also seems like we're going around that curve a little bit too fast perhaps as well, so let's just back off the power slightly. I'm not sure what's going on with the water, folks. I really don't know. I don't know. I think we are too full, but then again, no. I'm not seeing the water creep up, so I think we are too full. Don't know. I'm gonna stop panicking and just drive the train, I guess. Okay, so just going through those points now, over to the left-hand side. And then this will be the beginning of the loop-de-loop shortly. And then it's just going to be a straight run back to the steel mill from here. So, yeah, there's the water level. Okay. Well, that's good. Right, so, yep. Heading west now, just briefly, doing the loop-de-loop shortly. And then we'll be coming down past Oil Well North after that. And we've got to make sure we head off to the right-hand side after that as well. Not long now, folks. Almost there. One thing I just realized as well is, pardon me, I didn't actually stop at the platforms at Harbour and Town. That's a shame. That would have taken more time though. It would have been nice to do, seeing as I did kind of respect and honour the old platform stoppage rule at the other stations, but oh well. I guess the passengers had all night to board the train at Harbour and Town, didn't they? Just get the brakes on here because I'm just a little bit worried. I think we're going to need more braking in just a second because the train is continuing to accelerate from the sounds of things, I should say. Okay, enough water, enough water. Don't want to end up overfilling it again. Yep, okay, we've only got 1 bar of braking on right now, so that's a 70, but we've got to be getting close to 70 now. Yep, okay, yep, we're at 70. Come on, brakes. Take it up to 2 bar. Braking quite hard here. 2/3 of our braking, pretty much. Okay, I think that was a 60 just now as well. That's fine. Get off the brakes. Just keep this thing under control. Ooh, that's a 40, but increasing after that. Let's just back off this damper because we're not really using the fire right now. Let's get the brake on just a little bit here, or a lot. Need to be doing 40-ish. The water. Once again, the water. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Yeah, there it is. I know. Okay. Alright, alright. That track down there, I think that's the way to Food Factory? I think? Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so we've just gone through the loop-de-loop there, as you can see, and yeah, we need to make sure we bear off to the right-hand side. There's a set of points coming up soon. That loop is rather crazy, isn't it, when you're going this way, anti-clockwise around it. Going the other way must be rather crazy too, with all the inclines that you'd be going up. We're lucky this time we're actually going downhill, so that's an 80 reducing and level ground. That's interesting. I'll keep it around between 40 and 60, I guess. Don't want to go too slow, but at the same time don't want to bend the locomotive either, so panic stations. That's part of the charm of running this SH282, isn't it? You just cannot read the water glass, it seems. So very difficult to read sometimes. 60 and reducing, we're at 40, so that's fine. Not sure those of you who remember the earlier builds of Derail Valley way back when. Probably this is pre-2019 even, when it was still very early access. It used to, line speeds were very, very low, and I couldn't even imagine doing more than about 20, because doing more than 20 you'd basically derail quite easily, and I think they've made a load of changes since then. Obviously they're up to almost build 100 now, so yeah, line speeds were very, very slow back in the day in Derail Valley land, but I'm talking years ago now, so I think the game has certainly come a long way since then, and you can see here that we're just flying along, and this is more or less almost nothing, because in just a moment we'll be doing close to probably 80 or so, hopefully. Once we come down and finish this loop, as you can see there, we're going in anti-clockwise direction. We'll be on the straight just as we approach the steel mill, and I'm really going to open this thing up then. Okay, that's a 40 and a downhill, so let's just be a bit careful around here. I must say it is cloudy, but the rain is staying away, so that's good. Ooh, okay, yeah, we're right on the speed limit here, so yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to be going too much faster through here. And we are on braking as well at the moment. 1 bar of braking. I don't know what the water's doing, as usual. 1 bar of brakes. Can probably get off the brake actually. Yeah, let's get off the brake, because I'm sure it's going to pick up speed again in no time. Let's help it along, shall we? I don't know what the water's doing. Story of my life. I'm very lucky this thing hasn't exploded just yet. Touch wood. Don't want to jinx anything. These passengers are getting one heck of a tour, aren't they, around the map? Oh, that's a minus 2.8. Wow, okay. Alright, well, come on then. Let's throw it at me. What you got? Keep the brakes on 1 bar, but I've got the feeling we're going to need more than 1 bar in just a second. We're coming up to those points, so I've got to make sure we do go to the left-hand side. So, oh, that's a 40, that's a 40. We're going to be blowing past 40, I reckon. So let's take it up to 2 bar here. Yeah, 2 bars of pressure. Braking pressure. Oh, it's a 1.5 now, so the descent has kind of mellowed out a little bit. We can probably come down to 1 bar even now. That might be a good way of thinking about it, actually. If it's 2% plus descent, then that's 2 bar braking. If it's 1%-ish, then that's 1 bar. There's a lot of variables that go into it. That's a 40, and that's a junction coming up soon, so let's get ready. We'll just add a little bit of coal first, because I don't want to have to touch this whilst we're worried about going through a set of points. Get ready on the comms radio. So much going on right now, and we're not even going up a hill, see? Ah, there's the points! Quick, 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 quick! Oh, that was just in the nick of time. Just in the nick of time, that one. Wow, okay. Well, you can't say that we don't have any fun around here. And for those of you who have watched this far, I really appreciate it. I hope you've been enjoying this, because it's definitely been a journey and a half for me so far. Wow, okay. Well, I don't know what's going on with the water. That's what I can tell you there. I guess you expected that, though. Alright, we're done with the loop-de-loop. Almost killed us, not really. Points to the right coming up soon, and then that is basically the last home straight to the steel mill. So let's get a bar of braking at least. Okay, it's creeping up to 2 bars, but I'm not really too fussed about that. Boiler pressure is come down a bit. I don't know about the water. Let's take off the brakes. I must say, this cloudy weather really puts a different sheen on the landscape, doesn't it? There's an absence of birds singing. The terrain is rather ominous, it's just quiet. That boiler looks rather ominous too. Put on a bar of brakes. This is a fairly decent curve, this one. Good thing I put on that bar. You know what? Even with that bar going, I've taken the bar off now. Yeah, okay, it's continuing to. It's still accelerating. Kind of pushing the limits here, I think. Let's not, shall we? Let's not push these limits too much. 1.5 bar. Rather exciting running down these hills, isn't it? We'll keep that bar on, I think. We're burning a bit dirty, but oh, what can you do? Train's still there. Okay, here's our points coming up, and level ground apparently, so that's nice for a change. It's just nice not to have uphills or downhills to contend with. Both are pretty challenging sometimes. Keeps you on your toes. Okay, points are set as we like. 60-60. Looks like the boiler's full. I just wonder how many times I've looked at the water gauge in this video so far. I'd really love to know the stats on that. If someone wants to count for me, that would be very much appreciated, but I feel like I've been looking at the water gauge a lot in this video. And rightly so, because water level in a steam locomotive, as we know, is very, very important. Don't want to run out of water. That's the only thing you don't want to run out of. Well, if there's anything that you do run out of, don't run out of that. Otherwise, it's boom time. Okay, alright, so we've got one more set of points here, and they are now correct. Very good. Would have gone off to, would have gone back to goods factory from whence we came if we didn't touch these points right here. That would have been a fitting ending as well, but I think it's more fun to go to the steel mill because we've got this awesome straight coming up. And you know what? I'm probably not going to push the limits of this locomotive on this straight because I've come too far to ruin it, but that's not going to stop me from getting the speed going. You can see there, once we go past this little curved section, after that, it's this long straight right here. And then there's a bit of an incline as we come up to steel mill, so that'll bleed our speed off, hopefully. But in the meantime, let's enjoy this straight section. In order to enjoy it fully, we do need to add just a little bit more coal. So we might as well do that. Around the curve we go. And then after this, it's going to be a very nice straight section. This is a very nice open curve here. 80, which is fine. We're only doing about 60. Should be doing something about my boiler pressure. If we want to try and get the speed going. Oh, that's a 70 now. Look at that. Look at that wonderful... look at that cloudy landscape. It's just, it's amazing the different ways that the valley looks. And the cool thing about sandbox mode is you do get this dynamic weather. So really, you don't know what you're going to get. Well, at least that's the way I've set this sandbox up. When I created this, I just chose the random setting for all the weather and whatnot, so. Okay, damper full open now. I want to, there's a 100k now limit, so let's go, let's go. It looks like water's full. We should have opened the damper before this. We should have had a full head of steam right now, actually. But like I said, I'm not going for any records here. I just want to get the speed up a little bit. This is definitely the home straight, folks, as we barrel on towards the steel mill, which is only moments away now at the end of this straight section. See this locomotive just swaying and bucking on the rails here. Those 8 driving wheels just pummeling the rails. There's a lot of torque going through those rods right now. And look at that smoke. That's just a wonderful grey colour. That's exactly the kind of smoke you want for efficient running. Yeah, we've hit 80 more or less. I'm happy with that. There's a 70 that just flew by, so let's let's put the brakes on. Okay, we've had our fun, I guess. I know it was no 100, but we got to 80. The important thing is the train is still on the rails, so we've got a nice healthy amount of momentum for this hill that's coming up as well. And even with the damper full open, our boiler's still at 9 bar, so yeah, that was because we were accelerating quite hard. Our water level's just, I don't know, it's full, it's full. I'm pretty sure it's full. It's got a nice blue tinge. Smoke's gone dark again. Okay, here comes the hills. Here's the start of the incline. We're doing 60, so we've got quite a bit of momentum. I'll add a little bit of power anyway. Well, I'll open the throttle to the max, I mean. Yeah, now the hill gets even worse. But to be honest with you, I'm not going to... I'm going to let the hill just slow us down. Because we really don't have that much weight on the back. If we had 1,000 ton, we'd be accelerating hard right now, because the train would really be pulling us back. But I don't have that worry today. Nice easy run. Here's the steel mill, folks. and it looks like those points are set correctly. I'm just going to go straight in, I think. Actually, I do want to go off to the far left once we enter the main yard here. Not this section, we'll go straight through here, but then once we pass those points, off to the far left there are platforms within the steel mill, so that would be nice to actually... and they're probably occupied. Of course they are. No, they're occupied. I don't think we're going to be able to do this. Let's get the power on. We're going to grind to a halt otherwise. Oh, I just saw the coal pile move just now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are going to be occupied. We're not going to be able to do this. Change the points back. We'll just park this thing. Actually, we'll go to the far end and then try and reverse in. And if I need to, I'm just going to push those wagons out of the way. Why not? Our water level's still full chock-a-block, so... Right, so we haven't done too badly, I think. It is actually 6 PM in the game, just after 6, so yeah. I was actually hoping we'd get to Steel Mill well before the evening time, but looks like it's taken us a whole day again to actually get here. So how about that? From Harbour and Town up to Steel Mill, even with the speed that we tried to keep. I thought we kept a pretty good pace that time on this day. I think day 3 maybe we covered the most distance, not sure. I wish there was some way of well, I didn't do much time measurement and stuff like that, but it seems to me like the pace was pretty good today. So anyway, let's go to the end of this yard, and then I'm going to reverse in, and then see that platform track there. There's yeah, there's a wagon or 3 with some rails on it. That shouldn't be much trouble. I'm gonna push them out of the way, you know, because that's why not? We came all this way. I'm not going to be stopped now from pulling into the platform. The platform's for passengers, even though there's pallets of whatnot on there. So we'll just need to pull out of the yard here completely, get our last carriage past those points, and then reverse back through. So bear with me, and I'll just settle this up, and I'll rejoin with you shortly, yeah? Alright, so I'll stop the train just past these points here that I was talking about. I think I'll stop just a little bit too far because, yeah, the points are actually right there. No, right there. Yep. Okay, very good. So that will take us straight into the far end where the platform siding is. But before we do that, I might actually, and I should have done this before, I've had ample chance to do this on this trip, and I can't believe I haven't quite done it until now. So let's go ahead and whack on the end of train marker. So that's a nice little red marker. The perfect use in this weather, I reckon, because it just stands out nicely. Anyway, let's go back to the locomotive here. You can see that the whole train is actually still moving backwards, even with the brakes on. I haven't got enough braking on, I think. 1 bar's not quite gonna cut it. Not quite gonna cut it. Yep, that makes sense. I must be getting tired. It's been a long journey, folks. Right, let's back in. Back in, back in. Yeah, back in. The sparks flying again. Actually, I've put that end of train marker in, and now I'm going to go banging into those other cars that are in that siding. So probably not a good idea. I should probably run back there and actually take that marker out, and also probably just release the brakes on those wagons. And there is a special little red lever, red handle that you can use to release the brakes like that. I'll show you that in just a moment. Let's just put a bit of braking on right now so that we aren't going faster than I can run, and then run to the back of the train. And yeah, hopefully before it gets there and smashes into those other carriages. Just using the torchlight here, because why not? This actually costs a lot of money in the campaign, in the career mode, like 5 grand or something, or more. I can't remember, but it's battery powered. You can see there it's got a red and amber little marking there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just, yeah, you can recharge it as well, I believe. But yeah, okay, let's take the brakes off. And then the other thing you can do is somewhere around here. Ooh, okay, here comes our train. It's being pushed by gravity right now. The front of the train is still kind of going down the hill. I'm going to take this end of train marker off, because in reality we'd smash the absolute heck out of it if we left it on there. Somehow I think we're going to run out of momentum here. We're not going to make it to these carriages with enough momentum, because I've got no power on. So anyway, I want to show everyone where this little handle is, this red handle. Here it is. Just do that. I think just one pull is enough and it releases the brakes entirely. So you've got to be careful with that, but that's one way to basically drain the reservoirs, I believe. And yeah, well, it does something to the air brakes anyway, so yeah, you're gonna have to, oh no, gonna have to run back to the start of the train. Sorry folks. Let's run back to the start. Okay, alright. This is all just logistical now. We have technically run around the entire map right now, more or less. I think you'd agree. We've even gone to the middle of the map. How about that? Okay, we're gonna bang into these cars, I think. Yep, there we go. Now we'll just keep pushing them. Yeah, they're just free rolling behind us right now. The thing is, once I put the brakes on, I think those cars are just going to keep moving. But anyway, that's just too bad, isn't it? This is a passenger train. It takes priority. We've been going around the entire map. Okay, I don't know why I'm keeping this fire going, but there you go. I can probably drop this fire right now actually, because there's no need for it anymore. Let's close the damper down. Okay. Brakes. And this, my friends, is the last time that I'm going to apply the brakes. Let's kill this fire. Okay, we've made it around the entire map. How about that? That is, well, once again, another adventure. So I've done the whole round the map journey now with the steam shunter, and now the SH282 steam engine as well. So both of the steamers have done the round the map journey. Like I was saying a little while ago now during this journey, if you've got any ideas as to other videos you'd like me to do, I am going to continue the career mode series as well. By the way, I've only just gotten the DM3 license, so don't think I'm gonna stop doing the career mode videos. I want to take more advantage of that DM3 and drive it, because I know how much you all love it as well. So yes, if you've made it this far, I really appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. If you liked the video anyway, please consider leaving a like. If you didn't like it, that's fine. If you think your friends might enjoy the video, please consider sharing the video. And always open to your feedback in the comments. Look at those cars, they've been pushed out to the main line pretty much. And looks like the rain's starting again. So it's a good time, I think, to basically call it quits, because yeah, we have done the round the map journey. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this handbrake here, and we'll go ahead and just get into the station building and do a little bit of a summary. Right, so here's the station office at the steel mill. Right, so how did we go? Well, we know how we went, but for those of you who have only recently joined or are wondering how we went, well, we've got $3,566.80 left in the old wallet. So that means it's basically, yeah, it's cost us $6,433.20 to run around the entire map with 300 ton. And what did we do? We started at Goods Factory, and that was day one. We left, we came around, we basically headed north. We headed up to Food Factory. I thought I'd call it a night there. Didn't quite do it because there was still a bit of sunlight left, so continued the run through the night pretty much and made it to Iron Ore Mine West. There we spent the night, and then in the morning we topped up with coal and water. Then we passed through Machine Factory, stopped at the platforms there. Passed into City Southwest, stopped at the platforms there as well. And then snaked our way down to Sawmill. Passed through there, didn't stop there. And then began our journey over to the eastern side of the map, or eastern direction. And then it was kind of raining there, I believe, from memory. Made our way through that treacherous section there. Arrived at Harbour and Town quite late in the evening. Was driving through the night there. Topped up with coal and water that morning, and then made the journey west for day 3. So, and that's what we did. Just finished today. Went around, and then basically came down and back to Steel Mill. So that was 3 in-game days to do that. And only 2 stops for coal and water with the SH282. So that's worth noting that the SH282 is the locomotive of choice when it comes to these long-range tours. If you want to use steam power. If you want to use diesel, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to try that. Maybe I'll try that with the DM3 or something like that. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this video anyway. Thanks again so much for watching. To all of you who watch my videos, it's much appreciated. I know this was a bit of a long video, but I thought I'd divide the video into chapters, day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. So hopefully that's helped. Yeah, that's interesting. $28 worth of fees to pay. That is rather weird. Okay, $70 worth of 0 emissions made. Okay, alright, well. Now I've heard everything. At least the squirrel's happy. Okay, well, that's it. That's the end of this journey, folks. So once again, thank you for watching, and it's 9 PM. It's time for bed, I think. And I'll catch you all in the next one.